Oh shit. Are you serious? Here we go. Take two, because apparently I can't ever fucking get this audio to work correctly and it's driving me insane. I don't know if it's me. I don't know if it's the computer. I don't know if it's the microphone. But I recorded a comeback episode and it was good. And then the audio was not good. And so it was trash. It's in the trash folder now. So here we are again. This is my third podcast episode for the day that I'm recording. The first one was a bust. The second one was a guest. And now here we are. This one better work. What's up, you guys? I just realized, though, the last episode I recorded that I'm re-recording, I kept saying in the episode it's been 3 weeks since I've been on here, but it's actually been 4 weeks. And I was like, whoa, I abandoned you guys. I left you high and dry, like my father left me at the ripe old age of 10. I had to throw a dad joke in there, okay? I have abandonment issues, but I abandoned you guys. I needed to take a little break from the podcast, but guess who's back again. I drank my Alani, and sometimes when I drink my Alanis at this time of the day, I start to get hyper. And I just had a dance party in my office to that new Miley Cyrus song because it is such a banger. And I also love that song too because it's kid appropriate. So me and my daughter just be like, I can buy myself flowers. It's so good. Love a good Miley song. Anyways, back to the topic that I abandoned you guys. And I need to be honest. I need to come clean about where I've been and why I haven't recorded a podcast episode in a month. And here's why. I have been sick and tired of the topics I have been putting out on the podcast. And I'm bummed because I started this podcast with a very kind of clear vision in mind. And as we all know, things evolve, things change. And I just felt like in the past couple of months, what I'm doing with the podcast has kind of veered off this road, just episode slowly by episode. And what was supposed to be something very much more involved with self-care and betterment and mental health kind of just became a soapbox and a business ranting space. And while I love all of the episodes I've put out, don't get me wrong, I love all the guests I've had. I love all the episodes. I'm super proud of what Ironically Serious is right now. And for every listener who has stuck by my crazy ass side, it's been fun. But I also wanted something so much more for the podcast. And I needed to just take a second to just take a little breath and figure out what it was and what topics and vision aligned with what I want for the podcast. And I had conversations with Josh and friends and peers. And I remember specifically, Josh was like, stop worrying about what other people want. Like, stop worrying about what other people do or other people works for other podcasts or what you think is going to work or what you think people are going to like, and just do what you like. And as I thought about it, I'm like, yeah, I've really been just doing what I think people want to hear and having on guests that I know are in my online space, but I haven't really been focusing on the things that I find super exciting. And I think that's really honestly, as for many of you who've been around the podcast since I started it last year, I started the podcast to talk about things that are a little bit bigger and a little bit harder, and also things that can help us be better people. And not that any of the topics I've had on haven't been those things, but I just felt like every conversation has come back around to business. And it makes so much sense. It happens to me in my life quite often just because my business is where so much of my time goes. And because I have an online business, a lot of my peers, a lot of my friends, and the people that I talk to on a daily basis online or on social media are also in similar business industries or similar life spaces ish as me, whether it's age group or demographic or business industry or what have you. And I haven't really been able to tap into the spaces that I find super fascinating and the kind of topics that I look for in podcasts and what I really want to dive into. And so much of that has to do with mental health and physical health and self care and understanding more than just the surface level of what I know, right? Because I can only share what I've experienced. I can only share what I've learned, what I've heard secondhand. I'm not trained, I'm not educated, I'm not an expert in any of these topics that I want to dive into on the podcast. And so I realized if I want this to be something that I am super, super excited to show up to every day, then I need to take a second to realign with that. Because I've also learned, especially after having a business for this long in this capacity, if you aren't enjoying something in your creative realm, in your business, in whatever it is, like, why keep doing it? Change it up, switch it up, drop it, do something else, whatever it is that you need to do. But why keep doing something, especially if it's something like this podcast? It's not bringing me money. It's not a client project. It's not anything that is required of me. It's just something I love and I want to do. And I'm super excited to show up to. But when that thing starts becoming more of a burden, which is what I felt in the past couple of months, then that sucks. And so this past 4 weeks, I have really been realigning with where I want Ironically Serious to go. And I'm really excited because I feel like I'm at a good place where my head has kind of cleared a little bit and I've had a little bit more space in my business to kind of envision where I'm going. And I'm excited to breathe life back into this and show up consistently for you guys. But I also want to mention something in this capacity as well. Here's the thing. If you start something, you start a podcast, you start a blog, you start a YouTube channel, you commit to doing something, if you need to take a step away from that thing for a minute, it's okay. Like, it's okay to need to reevaluate, to refine, to step back, to get help, to get clarification, whatever it is you need to do, it is okay to do that. I think it's very easy for us, especially as creatives and content creators, to feel like once you commit to something, you're going to let everyone down if you take a break or if you stop or if you change it, right? Even if you change something, oh, what if people don't like it anymore? What if everyone doesn't want to watch it or listen to it? What if? And the crazy thing to me about that is we get stuck thinking about all of these what if scenarios and what are people going to think or what if that or what if this, when in reality, if we're not fully excited and ready to show up to that thing and we're not super passionate about it, it's going to fall flat anyways. I think we force ourselves into these commitments and then feel like we have to stick to them for fear of what? People are going to be let down, or we're going to let ourselves down, or people are going to think we don't take things seriously. It's okay to take breaks. I remember I had on Eden Strader on my podcast, who is an amazing photographer and coach and very successful. She's an amazing content creator and she has a podcast herself. And she's like, yeah, sometimes I just need to take a break. Like, I need to, whatever, for whatever reason, maybe to rest, to just find new guests, to realign. Maybe she's having a busy season and she's like, it's fine. It's okay. And most of the time, she's like, I come back and my audience is just as excited, if not more, for me to show up. And I can serve them better because I'm clear headed. And I think that is where I was in this past couple months. I've just been so go, go, go mode. Even during Christmas time, when I took time off of work, it was just go mode with family and excitement and all of the beautiful things that come with that time of year. And now I'm like, I was in go mode, and then I just kind of realized, wait, all of this go mode, am I super excited about all of it? And so I've been kind of reevaluating things. And as you guys know, the last time I was on with a solo episode, we were reevaluating all of my life decisions. And that's been going well. I'll give you a life update in a minute. But with that evaluation of my life decisions and health and wellness and all of the things also comes evaluation of business, evaluation of habits, evaluation of where are all of these moving parts going? Like, what is the goal here? And because I've had a chance now over the past 2 months or so to really sit in all of that for 2023 and kind of figure out what is my routine this year, what is my mode, what are the goals I have for my business and for my brand and for this podcast and all of the things, I can now kind of show up here more confidently and feel, not kind of, I can show up here confidently and know that I'm doing this because I truly am excited to and I want to, not because I feel obligated to do it or because I think I need to. And so I just want to say thank you for being here and listening if you have and you were like, where did she go? Because I am a hot mess express. We already know this. So let's talk about what's going to change around here. First of all, as I mentioned, this is not a place where I want to talk about business 24/7 because I want to be honest, I am in business 24/7. I'm always on my freaking phone and my freaking computer and answering emails and doing this stuff. And I want to be able to just listen to the podcast and like take my mind off something, learn something new, talk about something different. And so while the overall podcast is going to shift, don't worry. If you're like, but Tite, little teeter tot, I do love the business conversation. I know. Don't get me wrong. I like the times when I want to learn a new marketing tip, or when I get to hear a really cool, badass story about a woman who started a business and she's super successful now, or whatever the story is. I still want that element. And I am brainstorming and scheming how it's going to fit into the podcast. So don't worry, it's not going away. It's just going to be refashioned. But as far as my guests and my topics go, I'm so freaking excited because I've already started recording with some of these new direction of guest I'm bringing in. And I'm really wanting to focus on bringing in some educated professionals, mental health professionals, people who are educated and trained in certain topics, whether it's down to therapy or certain products or certain spiritual topics or topics about relationship health and parenthood and, all of the different niche specific zones we can get into when it comes to developing healthy habits in our life, developing healthy relationships with ourselves and with others. And already the lineup is going to be great. I already have an episode recorded with a mental health professional who's been in the field for over a decade. And that was a super cool conversation. I have topics coming up that are dealing with postpartum depression. We have conversations around mental health. I mean, financial health. There are so many things I'm bringing to the table, and I just want you guys to get excited. And with that, I want to say, if there is a topic we have not explored yet on the podcast, let's talk about it, because I'm not going to stop talking about the things that matter and talking about experiences that I think are really powerful to hear. I just want to also make sure that I'm giving resources and I'm giving value beyond just opinion and allowing you guys to figure out what is the best route for you individually in your unique situation, or what are the resources for X, Y, and Z, and really have a platform and a place for you to explore those topics that maybe you don't normally get to explore on a day-to-day basis. Maybe topics you don't really talk about with your family, or maybe topics you didn't really talk about growing up. This is a safe place for that. So I'm going to have professionals on who are educated. So if you are one of those people, let me know. If you know someone that you want to listen to on the podcast, or a topic that you're really wanting me to explore with a guest, put it on. I am really, really pumped about this. And I think that there are going to be some really life-changing guests on who are going to make a big difference. And we all know, though, I'm a little cray cray. So I'm not going anywhere. With that in mind, I need to give you a life update because, hello, it's still me. It's still ironically serious. So we're still going to be unhinged. We're just going to be proactively unhinged, if that even makes sense. So, where have I been the past month? Let me fill you in. I have just been grinding my little bootay off. As you all know, I think it was like in perfect alignment, this whole, I want to call it epiphany. Maybe it was an epiphany. Maybe it was just like a clarity moment, intuitive clarity with the podcast. But it's all been kind of flowing along with all of the other changes I've been making this year. And I shared so many of that with you guys at the beginning of 2023 with dry January and kind of the health changes I was interested in and where my mindset was and what I was focusing on this year. And it's been really, really cool. And what I've discovered about this process of refinement, really, of just being healthier, being more whole, really focusing on not being so stressed out about certain things and just kind of being a little bit lighter. Like, I just want to be lighter and enjoy life and enjoy experiences, but also be healthy and rested and all of the good things. But what I've learned about this process is how fascinating it is to attach personality traits to ourselves. I feel like it's something we do. And I've talked about this a little bit before, mentioning how, for example, maybe, no, this is literally an example, actually, not maybe. For me, I've always been a drinker since I've been drinking. And so one of my personality traits has literally always been like drink in hand. Like all of my brand shoots, I'll have a drink in my hand. Or if I'm writing copy on my website, I'll be like, cheers, So I've just like kind of created this personality trait around drinking, right? Well, once I stopped drinking, that personality trait is a little bit different now. It's not really the same. And I'm kind of learned like it's interesting how we can think we have these personality traits maybe for our whole life until one day we make a change or we change a habit or we go sober or whatever it is we start doing. And all of a sudden, like the personality trait is a complete 180. Another example for me, like I would have never stepped into a gym. Are you kidding me? Never. And now personality trait, like gym girl, like I go to the gym like 5 days a week. I have to go there. I would have cringed at that thought before. And so that's something I'm kind of like going through of all of these changes this year. And I shared with you guys, what it's looked like with dry January. And I think last episode I did mention, I had a drink, had some wine, and it's been so almost like no pressure. It's been so chill, just enjoying alcohol on occasion and not feeling the pressure and associating a feeling or experience with the drinking, like a future feeling and experience. For example, saying like, oh, I guess I can't plan anything tomorrow morning because I'm going to be hungover. Or like, oh, got to make sure I eat early because I want to drink tonight and I want to make sure like I don't get too drunk too fast. Like it's really funny how those personality traits, when all of a sudden you stop doing that thing. And so it's been fun to kind of like figure out what my new personality traits are. Like me and Josh have been drinking so much kombucha, and it's funny because now every time we go to the grocery store, it's just like, don't forget to grab the kombucha. And we never said that before. It'd be like, don't forget to stop at Han's, our family liquor store. And now we're over here texting our favorite kombucha flavors, and we know each other's favorite kombucha brands. So it's like, Rowdy Mermaid, sponsor me. Rowdy Mermaid and Alani, please sponsor me so I can just have endless amounts. I'm literally drinking an Alani Juicy Peach right now. It is my favorite. I drink one every day. Sometimes I'm tempted to drink two, but they're 200 milligrams, and I have another drink. I'm a drink whore. That is totally a personality trait. I always have like 18 drinks. Josh just came in earlier and helped me clean up all my drinks on my desk because I literally have 20 million drinks at all times. My other drink, I drink this protein coffee in the morning, and I'm obsessed with it. I've been drinking it for a long time, but I kind of go through seasons. Well, I'll drink it for like months straight, and then I'll go like a couple months where I just drink regular coffee, and then I'll switch it again. But that also has like 200 milligrams of caffeine because I mix it with espresso. So Alani and me, just we have a little daily. No, I can't speak. A little daily rendezvous. Anyways, it's been really cool to switch up my personality and figure out what it is. Who am I? And I also love this topic because it reminds me and reminds you, if you're listening, that you can change who you are like whenever you want. Like, no pressure. Like, there's literally no pressure to be anyone. You can just, you don't like a personality trait, you want to change it, you want to switch it up, you want to do something different, do it. Like, literally do it. I think it's funny when we feel like we have to stick with an identity that we've had. Maybe it's like a trait. Maybe you were like the class clown in high school and you feel like you always have to be the sarcastic, funny guy at the bar who's like loud, whatever. Like, those kind of people, like you can change your personality or identity whenever you want. And it's honestly really fucking fun because then your family and friends are like, wait a second, since when did you like be like that? You know what I mean? For me, for example, since I haven't been drinking, like I'm still very outgoing, but I'm definitely much more now that I don't drink and I partake in other things. I'm very chill and a little bit more shy than I normally am when I'm drinking and like in public. And I went to a comedy show with my mom not too long ago and I hadn't drank anything. It was during dry January. And I remember it was so funny because I was like really kind of shy and being a little bit hesitant talking to people, which is unlike me. And my mom was like, "Oh my God, when you're not drinking, like you're kind of shy. You're kind of a little bit different." And it's funny to see what friends and family think as you change. But at the end of the day, I'm still just me. Me and Josh are just like, whatever. Kombucha come and go. Kombucha come and go. That sounds like a song. Mix a lime with the coca, nothing makes it all up. Anyways, I'm gonna keep this episode short because I want to get you guys excited for all the guests I have coming up. So next week, it's the new era. It's the healthy girl era that we've been in, but except now we're clear. We're clear headed here. I'm clear headed. And I'm really thrilled to get back in the swing of it. I've really missed being able to share. There's been a lot of funny things that have happened to me lately. And I'm like, every time something funny happens, I'm like, where's the podcast? I need to tell them all these stupid things that happened to me. But here's a couple of updates and things going on since it's been a minute since I've talked to you. First of all, you can now watch the podcast on YouTube. So future guests will be released on YouTube, but you can also listen to the podcast wherever you get podcasts. Spotify, Apple, the jam, the drill. You can hear us there anytime, but also on YouTube if you want to watch video and see my guests and see myself. Also, you can go to ironicallyserious.com. There's a couple of things there you can do if you have a guest you want to submit. If you want to submit yourself or request a topic, you can go there and do all of that. I'll drop all the links in the description so you can just easily click there. And then there's also on the website, the blog. And the blog is pretty cool because on the blog, you can search any topic. And if we've had an episode where that topic's been discussed, you will be able to find the episodes. So it makes it really easy for you to search a question or a topic or a word, and any episodes with that mentioned will pop up because we have all of the detailed notes of the episodes, including the guest episodes, on the blog. So that's a really great way if you wanted to find a specific subject or a specific guest, you can search through all of the episodes and the content there. As always, I've missed you guys, but as you know, the best way to support the pod, share, like, subscribe, leave a review, share with a friend, whatever you do, it goes a long way. And I think you guys are going to be so freaking excited with all of the changes and the new guests and the topics coming up. And I hope that you're not mad at me for abandoning you for the past month, but I'm back and I'm going to see you guys right here next Friday, right here on Ironically Serious. Love you, bitches.